It's another interesting packaging program, TVN Business Time, broadcasting live right here in our studios in Abuja. My name is Nten Ekpang. On this program, we bring you business news, not just from Nigeria, but from the international scene. We'll take a look at the stock market report as it is happening live on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And of course, we'll bring you the Asian market report as well as that of the United States, not forgetting the fact that we'll also look at the exchange rate of the Naira as it stands with some major currencies today. Without wasting my time, let's go to the headlines. And for today, CBN limits USSD transactions to 100,000 Naira per day. Government revenue down by 77 billion as ECA shrinks to $1.83 billion. On the foreign scene, Amazon's sales surge and profits double. And of course, Deutsche Bank plans significant job cuts. Those are the headlines. Now let's go to the details of the story. And CBN has limited USSD transactions to 100,000 Naira per day. And according to the report, effective June this year, bank customers will not be able to use unstructured supplementary service data USSD channel to conduct transactions more than 100,000 Naira per day. Governor Mefele, CBN governor, also said they will have to use both their PIN and a soft token to authenticate transactions above 20,000 Naira. The USSD is a technology platform for online payments. In addition, banks must allow their customers the option of out-of-SSD channel for financial transactions. These were highlights of the regulatory framework for the use of unstructured supplementary service data USSD for financial services in Nigeria issued by the CBN yesterday. In a circular announcing the framework, Director of Banking System and Payments Department CBN stated the vast applications of the USSD technology in terms of available services have raised the issue of the risk inherent in the channel. In this regard, concerns have been expressed on the likely exposure of CBN-approved entities to the possible breaching of the USSD-accessed financial services in view of likely vulnerabilities in the technology and the ever-growing threat. Furthermore, the implementation in Nigeria has created multiple USSD channels to customers, thereby increasing their exposure to risk without a common standard for all. This framework therefore seeks to establish the rules and risk mitigation consideration when implementing USSD for financial services offering in Nigeria. And moving to our next story, government revenue down by 77 billion as ECA shrinks to $1.83 billion. According to that report, after 2 days of disagreement between the 36 states commissioners for finance and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation over alleged revenue underpayment, the Federation Account Allocation Committee finally distributed a sum of 626.82 billion naira to the 3 tiers of government on Thursday. The allocation, which was supposed to have been done on Tuesday, was delayed following claims that the NNPC underpaid about 12 billion naira into the coffers of government. But at a reconvened meeting on Thursday held at the headquarters of the Ministry of Finance, the committee agreed to share the sum of 626 billion naira for the month of March. This, according to the Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, is to allow the 3 tiers of government to pay workers' salaries before the end of this month, while reconciliation with the corporation is ongoing. Addressing journalists shortly after the meeting, the AGF put the gross statutory revenue for the month of March at 480.59 billion naira. This, he added, was 77.34 billion lower than the 557.94 billion generated in February. Idris explained that crude oil export sales decreased by 13% in March when compared to 5.42 million barrels from the previous month. And to our third story on TVN Beach Time today, subsidy. Senate orders 216 billion naira illegal payment refund by NNPC, and that report says that the Senate has declared as illegal the current payments by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation to augment the differentials between the landing cost of PMS and the pump price. The legislature asked the corporation to stop further payment of subsidy, but should clear the areas owed marketers of the commodity. The Committee on Public Accounts made the recommendations in its report on the investigation of the subsidy payments, which was adopted by the Senate at the plenary on Thursday. The panel recommended that the NNPC should stop the illegal payments without appropriation henceforth, adding that the corporation, through President Muhammadu Buhari, should make a formal request to the National Assembly for appropriation for the illegal payments, while the 216 billion spent in 2017 should be returned to the Consolidated Revenue Fund account. The lawmakers also adopted the recommendations that read, there is a need for the federal government to pay the oil marketers the outstanding arrears of subsidy owed them prior to 2017, and another that stated that the local refineries should be given maximum attention to enable them to function in full capacity. The Senate asked the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation to carry out a full audit of the NNPC. The chamber also directed the committee to recommend appropriate sanctions for officers and personnel who have carried out these illegal payments. And on the final report for the local scene, NCC remits 49.7 billion surplus to federal government in 3 months. That report says that the Nigerian Communications Commission on Thursday said it had remitted 49.79 billion naira to the federal government's Consolidated Revenue Fund in the first 3 months of the year 2018. According to a statement made available by the Commission, this figure represents, quote, payment on account in respect of operating surplus for the year 2018. The statement explained that according to the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007, such payments were to be made every year after the repatriation of audited accounts. However, the NCC added that it had taken the initiative to be making payments on account as it generates revenue. Section 22, subsection 1 of the FRA states, notwithstanding the provisions of any written law governing the corporation, each corporation shall establish a general revenue fund and shall allocate thereto at the end of each financial year 1/5 of its operating surplus for the year. The statement added that Section 22, subsection 2 of the Act explained, and I quote, the balance of the operating surplus shall be paid into the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the federal government not later than 1 month following the statutory deadline for publishing each corporation's account. And those are the stories on the local business scene for today. We'll take a very short break, and when we come back, we're going to bring you international business news. This is TVN Business Time. Don't go away. Welcome back to TVN Business Time. And just before that break, we brought you local business stories. Now let's go to what the foreign scene is looking like this morning, or this afternoon rather, on the business scene. And top on the stories, Amazon's sales surge and profits double. Well, that report says Amazon has reported a 43% surge in revenues for the first quarter, and it was fueled by online shopping in the US. The internet retail giant said sales rose to $51 billion. That's about 36 billion pounds in the 3 months to March, surpassing analyst forecasts. Amazon also said that its profit more than doubled, sending its share price to a new high in after-hours trading on the New York Stock Exchange. It added that it expects profit and revenue to grow in the second quarter. Over the 3 months to March, Amazon's net profit rose to $1.6 billion from $724 million in the same period last year. Amazon was founded and is led by Jeff Bezos, who, according to Forbes magazine, is now the richest man in the world and owns the Washington Post newspaper. And to our next report on the foreign scene, Deutsche Bank plans significant job cuts. According to that report, Deutsche Bank will make significant job cuts as it sails back its corporate and investment banking operations, Germany's biggest lender has said. Its new chief executive, Christian Sewing, said the job losses were painful but regrettably unavoidable. The cuts will mainly fall in USA and Asia, Deutsche Bank said. The comments came as the bank reported a sharp drop in first quarter corporate and investment bank revenues. This strategy will be a marked reversal from Deutsche Bank's previous one of global investment banking expansion, which it has pursued for the past 30 years. The measures will incur higher restructuring costs and include a scaling back of Deutsche Bank's businesses with hedge funds. And let's move on to the next report. Barclays pushed into loss by US payouts. That report says that Barclays has been pushed into a first quarter loss after paying $2 billion, that's about 1.4 billion pounds, to settle a lawsuit in the US over the sale of mortgage-backed securities. The bank also put aside an additional $400 million to cover an increase in payment protection insurance PPI mis-selling claims. Barclays reported a pre-tax loss of $236 million compared with the profit of $1.68 billion for the same time last year. But excluding litigation costs, pre-tax profit rose by 1 to 1.7 billion. The bank still intends to pay shareholders a dividend of 6.5 pence per share. Earlier this month, Barclays became the first UK bank to ring-fence its retail bank from its investment banking division as part of new UK regulations meant to protect consumer cash from investment banking risks. The results for the first 3 months of the year 2018 show that pre-tax profit at the international division, which includes the investment bank, rose by 4 to 1.4 billion pounds, excluding litigation costs. And to our next report on the international scene, Nintendo Switch feels strong rise in profit, and that report has it that Japanese games giant Nintendo reported annual profit of $1.28 billion, a 36% rise due to the continuing rise in that profit. It has appointed a new president and his 46-year-old Shuntaro Furukawa. He is currently in charge of overseas marketing. Switch, launched last year, has proved a runaway success for Nintendo. It has become the fastest selling games console in the Japanese firm's history and the firm's biggest hit since the World War II. Since the gaming platform was launched in 2006, sales of Nintendo products increased more than double from the previous year, the company reported. And those are the stories on the international business scene. Let's take you straight to the Nigerian stock market and look at how the Naira fared as at close of business yesterday. And we report that the Naira on Thursday appreciated marginally against the dollar at the investors' window. Naira dollar, the Nigerian currency, gained 9 kobo to exchange at 360.42, slightly stronger than 360.51 posted on Wednesday, while it closed at 305.65 at the CBN window. Now, Naira remained stable at the parallel market, trading at 363 to the dollar, while the pound sterling weakened marginally to 507 from 505 posted on Wednesday. The euro maintained 445 trading at the Bureau de Change window, and it showed that the Naira closed at 362 to the dollar, while the pound sterling and the euro closed at 507 and 445 respectively. Traders are of the opinion that the weekly interventions of the CBN in the foreign exchange market will lead to a further appreciation of the Naira at the parallel market. The CBN had on Wednesday injected $210 million to the forex market to boost liquidity. The Apex Bank had injected over $16 billion to the market since February 2017 to defend the Naira against the activities of currency speculators. Now, the oil price racing towards the $76 mark and improved external reserves of about $47 billion, the CBN is confident that it has adequate cover for the Naira. However, experts argue that relying on oil price alone may not be sufficient and sustainable in shoring up the value of the Naira in the long run. Now let's take you to the stock market report proper and bring you the top 5 advancers, the top 5 decliners, and the top 5 trades for today as at the stock exchange market. Now, for the top 5 advancers, we have Julius Berger opening at 26.65 and currently at 26.69. The change is 120 kobo gain, and of course in percentage that's about 4.87. The second on the gainers table is Stanbic. Stanbic is trading right now for 8 naira last close, and right now is trading at 49.5 to gain 0.6, and that's a percentage gain of 1.3%. ETI is at 19.7, currently 20.1, and that's a percentage of 1.77, having gained 0.35 naira. Orlando is next on the gainers table, trading closing at 9.15 and currently 9.5, and of course 0.35 is the gain for that. And USEN is at 16.9 and trading right now at 17.2. The change is 0.3 and a percentage gain of 1.78. Now let's look at the decliners for today. The decliners currently are Forte Oil, that's FO. Forte Oil traded with 47.55, but currently at 45.2, and the change is negative 2.35, and that's the percentage of minus 4.94 rather. Nigerian Breweries is next on the decliner table, starting the trade at 127, closing 125.3 to lose minus 1.7. The percentage represents minus 1.34. Access Bank is the next on the losers table. It started at 11.35 naira, closing 11.3, losing 0.05, and that's the percentage of minus 0.44. Honey Flour is trading 2.7 and currently 2.73, losing 0.04 negative and percentage of minus 1.44, while ICO started at 0.73, closed at 0.07 to lose the percentage of minus 4.11. Now let's look at the top trades for today. Well, the top trades, as you can see from the table there, NBN Benefit is top on the list, and it traded a volume of 112,235,138 to close at 26 billion. And of course, moving to the next is FBNH, that's First Bank of Nigeria Holding, opening at 17, and the value is 203 million. Zenith Bank opened 14, that's the volume, and of course the value of those volume is about 406 million. And while UBA is next on the top trades, volume of 13,678,213, and the value of that trading is about 155 million. While Skybank is the last on the top trades, and its volume is 9,448,309, and the value of that is about 7 million. Now let's look at the exchange rate. Or let's take you to the Asian market. First of all, let's go to the Asian market to bring you what transpired over there as business continues today. In Asia, Japan Nikkei, that's Japan Nikkei 225, trading at 22467.8 to gain at least 0.66%. The Hang Seng also gained 0.91%. The Shanghai Composite gaining 0.23. The S&P BSE Sensex gaining 0.78. In Australia, the S&P ASX is gaining 0.72. In UK, FTSE 100 is gaining 0.45. The DJIA, that's the Dow Jones, is gaining 0.9 now. Asian Dow is at 0.60, where the global Dow is at 0.06. Now let's take a quick look at the United States market. In US, the DJIA is also gaining 0.99%. Nasdaq is closing at 1.6%. S&P 500 1.04, the Russell 2000 0.48, Global Dow 0.05, Japan Nikkei 225 0.66, of the stocks Europe 600 at 0.12, while the UK FTSE 100 also closing 0.45. And finally, let's look at what is happening at the stock market. I did report to you earlier on, specifically the exchange rate of the naira with the dollar, the Great British pound, and the euro. I did mention earlier on today, the buying price is 360 naira and the selling price is 363. It's been like that for the past 3 days. And the British pound has surged. The naira has weakened with the British pound. Today it's at 500 naira buying price and then 507 for the selling price. And while the euro is 440 for the buying, and of course closing at 445, which is the selling price. And just before we call it a wrap, let's go to the headlines for today and tell you the stories that were top as we wrap up TVN Business Time today. CBN limits USSD transactions to 100,000 per day. Government revenue down by 77 billion naira as ECA shrinks to $1.83 billion. In the foreign scene, Amazon's sales surge while their profits have doubled. And of course, we report to you that Bosch Bank has planned a significant job cut. Those are the stories that made headlines today on TVN Business Time. We sincerely appreciate your time being with us from Monday up until this time. We'll be back again on Monday to bring you what happened throughout this week at the Nigerian stock market and of course the Asian and US markets. My name is Ten Ekman. On behalf of all members of the production team, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of our program. Bye-bye.